So tonight we're going to talk about putting your best face forward. Lips. Lips is a huge one. Lips are huge, huge, huge. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. It's a little bit about lips, a little bit about brows, mascara. So, alright. So, a couple things. Liquid Never Tried Gel. Ooh, I'm addicted to gel. I love gel liner. Absolutely love gel liner. So let's talk a little bit about this, okay? So we do have some makeup wearers on here, and that's great because here's the thing. I often hear from women, hi Audrienne, I often hear from women that they don't wear makeup, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, what do you mean you don't wear makeup? Because I see mascara, I see eyeliner, I see lip gloss, and I think what most women mean when they say they don't wear makeup is that they don't wear like a full face. Okay, raise your hand if that kind of describes you, if you don't like go full on glam and spend like an hour on your makeup in the morning. If you raise your hand in the comments and let me know if that's you, because I know it was me. And then I'm going to tell you, as I mature, I do find that, you know, aside from, obviously I wear a lot more makeup on camera than I would if I were working in, you know, a daily job, right? But this is my new job, right? So that's what I do. I tend to wear more makeup than I normally would, but I also find like covering up the dark under eye circles is really important to me, and it always has been. So now that I know how to properly do it and really hide them, that does require a little bit more product, but I totally understand what most women are saying in terms of they don't put on a full glam face of makeup every day. And good news, we're not going to be here for 4 hours on a 4-hour long makeup live, because Tamira don't do that. And we won't be doing anything very drastic either, because what I want you to do is walk away with some easy replicatable tips that you can take home and duplicate very easily in your bathroom. Okay, so we also have Dallas, who invited me to come on here, so thank you, Dallas. She is in the comments as the Girl Power Ignite page, and she is posting for you to join the movement. So there is a link for you to find out more about what Girl Power Ignite is all about, okay? So let's start with brows. And the big thing with brows is, for me, they frame the face, right? One brow is done, one brow is not, and we can totally see the difference. And you know, if I were to just look in the mirror, I would think I have pretty decent brows. I mean, they're not really sparse, they're not overly thick. I tend to keep them trimmed, but filling them in and you know, doing a little bit of highlight underneath there really makes a huge difference. So let's talk about measuring your brow. Okay, so your brow should start right about there. Okay, so you can always just take any brush that you have, or even a spoon, I guess, the handle of a spoon, and it's going to show you right there is where your brow should start. If you go further than that, now you're starting to look like a uni, okay? And you didn't come on here and learn from Tamira how to look like a uni. We want you to not look like a uni, okay? And I always get confused on whether it's the pupil or the iris, so all you biology and anatomy experts can tell me, but you're gonna come right outside here, and that is where the arch should be, okay? And I'm a brow raiser, so I have to remember to relax them. So that is exactly where the arch should be. And then your tail should come no further than that, okay? So my ladies in the 30s, 40s, 50s, especially 40s and 50s, you do not want, nobody does, but you do not want that brow tail going down further than that, because now it's starting to point downward, and that's not good. Now you're starting to defy gravity, go against gravity, and you're starting the drooping and making it look droopy, and that is going to age you, okay? So just to recap, these are the 3 points for your brow measurement. And what some people do is they'll take their pencil in the beginning. I'm just actually pretty good with that part of it. I can do it by eyesight. And they'll mark just 3 little dots so they know where their boundary is, okay? And then I should have grabbed a new one, because this looks bad, but I use my favorite brow kit, which has a dark powder, a light powder, and then this is a wax. And as you can see, hey Keisha Bass, as you can see, I use the dark powder and the wax the most. I don't really use the light powder, not for my brows anyway. I could use it like on the eye or that if I wanted to, but I just use something else, just my own personal preference. So I'm gonna get a little bit of powder, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of wax. When you mix the powder with the wax, it actually makes it very much like a pomade. Now, the other thing I would recommend doing is actually brushing or combing the hairs in place. That's gonna make your job a lot easier. Same with pruned brows. I've had people, you know, sit in the chair, and I'm not a makeup artist by trade. I've had people sit in the chair and they've never seen an eyebrow specialist a day in their life, and their brows are very far from on fleek, and they, you know, and they'll sit there and say they want their brows to look like Instagram. Well, you need to get some cleanup done, okay? And I'm sure there are people out there who can do it, but the reality is even when you start highlighting and concealing the brow and cleaning it up, those hairs are going to show through at some point. So the brows do need to be cleaned up, okay? So you're gonna start and you're gonna make a line and just follow the natural arch of your brow. Dallas is laughing at me. And I like to hold a mirror up, and this one comes with a mirror, so I love it. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Just following the natural line. Just like that, okay? So I drew a line on the bottom. Now what some people do is they actually move the hairs down a little bit. Mine, it's pretty easy for me to do the top line. Hi Gina. I see all my peeps coming through tonight. I appreciate the support, y'all. Make sure you join the movement by clicking the link that they've got posted there in the comments. And so you're gonna come up at the top, and you don't have to start way over here. You're actually gonna start right about in the middle of the brow with the line on the top. I got a little too much wax, so get some more powder on. Okay, so now I've got the line at the top, and now all I'm gonna do is just fill in, okay? So I'm gonna get more powder on the brush and just go along with the way that the hairs naturally go with short hair-like strokes. And make sure to blend out those lines. And then in the front, see how this is angled? The angle is gonna be at the bottom of the brow, and you're gonna flick up with just like whatever is left on the brush, or if you have to, go back in the pot, get just a little bit. I don't know about you, but when I was working, especially having teenagers at home, mornings could be crazy. So, you know, being able to get in and out really quickly was super important. Like I had my routine down to about 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna put some wax on, wax off. Brows, though, to me are like one of the most important pieces of putting your best face forward. I think it's hard to put your best face forward if your brows look crazy. And you know, if I were to go super minimum, the brows would definitely be in the routine. And when I do go super minimum, the brows are a must. You have to do the brows. Your brows, I'm not saying they gotta be like fleek to the gods. I'm missing my little brush. I'm not saying they gotta be fleek like to the gods, but you want them done. You do want them, you know, well groomed and manicured. Where could that brush be? It's my favorite little brush for my brows. So I guess I'm gonna have to use something else in the interest of time and aviation safety. So I'm going to use this other angled liner brush here, and I'm going to go into, this is a 3-in-1 concealer, foundation, and contour quad. So it's a little thicker, and I'm going to get some concealer on here. And I need my brush. I'm crying like a baby. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so, but I got the product on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath that line that I put there with the product. And I'm going to try and get all the product off of here. Don't worry, it's not real clean right now because this brush is probably too little. So I'm going to get my bigger angled brush and just clean up. Okay, so see, that makes a huge difference. That right there, I always say, if I can get those dark under eye circles packed away and get the brows done, I'm good. I'm seriously good with those two. And this brow is the brow where the skin is a little damaged from that one time back in 1999. I'm aging myself, I know, when I tried to wax my brows myself with an at-home wax kit from Sally and gave myself I don't know what degree burns, but it was a mess. It was a mess because I heated the wax up in the microwave and it was too hot, and so I put it on my face and it burnt the crap out of me. So probably not the smartest move. I put my head under the faucet and ran cold water, so guess what? The wax stuck to my face. So live and learn. And that's when I was like, okay, so probably paying somebody to do my brows is worth it. Yeah, because it looked like I had a black eye for like a week. That's how I really learned how to cover up with makeup really good, because I had to after that. Okay, and so this is a really important step. What you want to do is use a little bit of either your foundation or some other powder. I'm going to use a little bit of the banana powder here and set that, because I used to not set that, and then it's like, where did it go? So don't worry, I'm going to brush that off. And now notice I did it on the entire lid. That's because I'm going to basically use that as an eye primer. Okay, so here's what I was thinking, and you guys tell me what you think. I was thinking I would do 2 different eyes just to give you an idea of 2 different quick eye looks for in the morning for the busy professional mom. Hi Marsha, so what do you guys think about that? Do you want me to do, 2 different eye looks or the same look on both eyes? Because honestly, if I was going to do the same look on both eyes, I would have already had one eye done. So you guys good with doing 2 different eye looks, but both very simple and quick and easy that you can do in the morning? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Comment below with what you would like to see. One uniform look or just 2 different. Gina says 2 different. Dallas says yes, 2 different looks. Welcome everyone. Please remember to share an invite. Okay, so you gotta speak up for what you want. You gotta speak up for what you want. So the first look, and I did this a lot when I was in the corporate world, okay? So whatever, simple, right? That's the entire thing, and that is really part of my branding as I work with the everyday woman, and Keisha knows that. I am not out here trying to do, now sometimes I will do them just for fun and to increase my skill set, don't get me wrong, but I understand who my market is, and my market is the regular everyday woman. And being a regular everyday woman, I know, as much as I love Wonder Woman and call myself Wonder Woman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and again, I should have pulled out I do have a brand new one here. So I'm going to show you from my brand new palette. of the Tamira palette. This is like a perfect palette for the everyday woman because you've got 10 different shades, and you've got, you know, you can do your smoky, you've got some shimmer, and you've got these matte shades, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the different types of shadows, okay? So your matte shades, think like a wall. It's flat. It has no gloss. It has no shimmer. So if you are like I was before I became a beauty advisor and became learned in makeup, I would take a shimmery shadow and just go to town with it and bring it all the way up to the brow bone. You don't want to do that, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do what I call a monochromatic look, which is basically just using one shade or one shade of family on the eye. And then I'm going to do, you know, something with a little bit more contrast, but yet still very simple for the everyday woman. So we'll start with the monochromatic, and I love using a big fluffy blending brush like this. And I'm not going to dip in my new palette. I'm going to dip in the raggedy one that I don't want to show you because I'm a little embarrassed by it. But I love it. Mainly because it's been used and abused during travel. So always tap off the excess, okay? And so it works well if you are looking down into a mirror, not with your eyes actually closed. And so I'm just covering the lid. And a big fluffy brush like this is going to disperse the product and give you a nice blended out look. So I'm going to go real heavy with it on the lid, and then I'll show you what I'll do where it will look like it's two different eyeshadows. Okay, so we're just going to pack it on the lid too. You can blend it. I like to blend it first, and then I like to pack it to give it more depth. Now your mattes you can use on your lid. What you don't want to do is use your shimmers in your crease, because that's where you lose dimension and people don't know what to look at, okay? So we've got that all over the lid. Now I'm gonna come out over to the outer corner of the eye and just do like a circle and bring it in like a windshield. Circle, and then windshield. Circle, and then windshield. More windshield because I got some scarring here. Okay, so just, you can pack as much on there as you want. Just remember, you gotta blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. But this is supposed to be like a really quick and easy look. So I want you to see how far I brought it up. So you can see where my natural crease is, but I went above that. And I'm going to tell you why, because I, like probably most of you, I believe most people have what's called a hooded eye. I always call it like extra fat, like it's kind of fatty there and it hangs over. And if you don't go above that, for some of you, when you have your eyes open, you won't even be able to see the lid. So that's why you have to go slightly above it with the eyeshadow. So raise your hand in the comments. Hey Tim, if you have, and Selena's asking about hooded eyelids. I just explained, Selena, how I do it for having a hooded eyelid, okay? And so you can see closer, it's up there, okay? And we can even darken that a little bit. Just go back in with a little bit more. And you can just build it up to however you want it, okay? And so you can already see it's starting to look like it's two different eyeshadows, okay? So I'm gonna clean this off just a little bit. You can use a paper towel. I actually always have like a mop towel on my lap when I do these videos. So I'm just gonna brush it off a little bit so it's more of a clean brush. You either wanna do that or, hi Carla from Phoenix where it's 85 degrees. She always gotta rub it in my face. See how my people do me? So you either wanna use a clean brush or you want to try and get off as much color off of the brush as possible. And you're gonna go right up here and you're just gonna do circles and blend it out and buff it out. And that's where it's gonna look nice and gradient and like it's fading, right? You see that? You could use a lighter eyeshadow if you wanted to. I'm not. I want to show you how to do this as quickly and easily as possible. And just blend the top of that. Circles is always gonna blend, okay? And the windshield is going to place the product, but after you place it, then you got to go back with the circles to blend it out, if that makes sense. And just diffuse it. Okay? And so that's one eye. And that's just a simple eye. You can throw on a little bit of eyeliner and some mascara, which we will do. And now, boom, you look like you tried and you put forth some effort today, right? Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to do a look with 3 different shadows, okay? This is, you know, for those days when I feel like putting in a little bit more effort. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same brush, and we're going to start with the sister to that palette, which is more bold, as you can see here. And I broke the thing, so don't be mad at me. And so I'm going to go into this yellow shade. I love to use this for my skin tone. You can see you get a lot, and see how pigmented it is. See how it looks like what it is in the thing. And I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to come up above that crease. And even with this yellow, I'm going to bring it up to the brow bone, because it's going to help highlight the brow bone. And just like that. I don't want to use it too much, because I want it to be a little, I mean, I am a little bolder when I was working. I was, okay? I was a little bolder, but I don't want to be super crazy with it, right? So that's the easy part, right? So we just, and then do the circles, blend it out. And we're going to go back into that other shade, which is my favorite transition shade of what's called a transition shade on Women of Color, which is Lush from the Tamira palette. Okay, so we're going to go on that, and we're going to start here. So see how my natural crease is here, where I'm actually going, see when I push that in, that's the actual like bone, the socket of my eye. And if you have a hooded eye, that's where you want to go. Hi Tanisha. And so we're just going to go back and forth like that. Get some more. Usually hold 2 different palettes here. Oops. Clean it off. I don't know what I was thinking. Go back in the Lush and just keep going. And now I'm going to kind of bring it down and do like a C from up there down to the bottom. Okay. And now if we really wanted to get creative, we could take a darker shade and go even lower than that, but I think that's probably enough for y'all. Okay. But you still can bring this one down further and go heavier and build it up in the actual crease, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, and then I'm gonna again clean off the brush just a little bit on my towel here and tap just into that yellow just a little bit, really flick it off, and then do the same thing I did on the other side with coming up here and just circles. Notice I'm holding the brush way down here, just to really blend the two together. Is anybody doing this with me? Anybody doing this at home? How's that working out for you? Okay. So we did that. Now that is a nice blending brush. So now I'm going to introduce you to another brush. Let's make sure it's clean. For the lid, I actually usually like to use what's called a synthetic brush, so like a concealer brush. So that means it doesn't have natural hairs. So we're going to use this one, and we are going to, I think, what do you guys think on the lid? Purple? Everybody good with like a soft purple on the lid? That's actually kind of like what I would wear back in the day. That was like my signature shade. Honestly, and part of my putting my best face forward every day and how I got it down to a 15-minute routine was I pretty much did the exact same makeup look every day for work. I mean, why not? I mean, it's work, right? And so what I like to do for the crease is I like to spritz the brush with setting spray. And I'm gonna pick up my mirror again. And the mistake most people make on the lid is they sweep back and forth. You don't want to do that. You actually want to pat and slide. And I'm just gonna build it up. I could have done a little bit of a different color so you could see more of the contrast, but when I saw the purple, I knew that was what I wanted to do. Okay, and so now we're gonna take the blending brush and just blend it out. Okay. Now, like I said, if you wanted to, you could use a darker shade. So we're gonna take this bulleted brush and we're gonna go into my favorite chocolate shade, which is Nefertiti. And we're gonna come right here in the natural crease and out here like that C again. Just because with my eye, I need to have a little bit more dimension. But honestly, back in the day, I wouldn't have known that and would have just left it be. But when you know better, you do better. Okay. And then always just make sure everything blends nicely together. Okay. And that is the two different eyes. And my eyes are actually, they're symmetrical, but the hood on them is different on each one. So I feel like I look a little crazy right now, but y'all asked for it. So you can't go talking about me and be like, man, her eyes, like her face is just not even right. But I just did what y'all asked me to do, okay? So we were talking about eyeliner, right? This is like the working woman's eyeliner because you get the benefits of it being liquid without having to kill yourself or poke yourself out your eye out like I almost did back in the day. I used to be so afraid of liquid eyeliner, okay, because I was like 25 and I was working, and little then Julie Wilkie was like, you don't wear liquid eyeliner? And I felt like, you know, not only had I lost my black card, I had lost my grown woman card too. So I went to Walgreens and bought some liquid eyeliner, and it was cheap too, so my eye was like blood red for days. And I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I'm not exaggerating when I did not touch liquid eyeliner for like 10 years until this thing came into my life. Because look at, I mean, it's easy. Like that whole liquid eyeliner thing and like touching my eye really scared the crap out of me. And so that's what we did. So on this eye, we're just gonna do a real simple look, because when you have hooded eyes, which I believe most of us do, you don't want to get too extravagant with the eyeliner. Like it's really different. It's really difficult to pull off a cat eye anyway to do the wing liner, but when you have a hooded eye, it's even more difficult. But I'm going to do it on this eye. On this eye, I'm just going to do a simple one. And so I like to get as close to the lash line as possible and just take little short dashes and connect them. Don't make it too thick, especially if you have a hooded eye, because what you don't want is for the hood to be all liner. That's crazy when that happens, but it happens to some people. Like my hoods aren't quite that drastic. So that's just a little simple liner on the top. Now on this side, we're gonna do the winged liner, and you always want to start at the top of the bottom line, or whatever that is, the bottom lash line, okay? I'm gonna do just a little baby liner, and you can probably see that scar there from when my sister and I were playing when we were kids. That's how I know where to stop. Actually, I need to go a little further, okay? And then we're going to connect that to the lid and fill in. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side. Little dashes. I like to get as close to the lash line as possible. Okay, and so we have a little bit of a wing situation over here. Okay, just a really small baby wing. Okay, and then I actually, because of the under eye situation, I actually don't use a lot of liner underneath the eye. So we're gonna go back in the Dynasty palette, and I'm gonna find my flat top brush here from my pile old brushes. Here it is. And I'm just gonna take this and get a little bit, and then I'm going to connect up to that liner and just start smudging it out. See the difference? Now, as we get older, you don't want to bring that eye all the way in because that's going to close it. I went about 3/4 of the way. Same with this one. Okay. Now I'm going to show you another trick. And that is a trick you can use to fool your boss either way. So if you want to get sent home, you would use a red liner. But what I'm going to show you is with our Bear pencil, how to make the eyes look bigger and you look brighter. Your eyes look brighter and you look more awake. Where is my Bear pencil? Bear, where are you? Right here. It's upside down. Okay. Make sure she's sharpened. You can hear stuff falling down everywhere. As long as that mascara is right there, we good. Okay. So we're gonna take the Bear liner and we'll do it. Let's do it in this eye because I think it'll be really good to see it over here. So we're just gonna go right in the waterline. Okay. And see how that opens the eye up? It makes the eye look, you can see the difference between the two. It makes the eye look more open, right? You could use white. I think on my skin tone that's really drastic, so I like to use the Bear. It's a trick I like to do, and you really probably should, get that in there before you do the under the lash line. But sometimes I feel like people overplay that, so I wait and decide afterwards, like, okay, yeah, let's open that up a little bit more. Okay, so we'll do it over here too. Okay. Okay, so we got the two on the bottom, and now it is time for some mascara. This is my favorite One Step Fiber mascara. Get the look of falsies without the work. You gotta get all that excess mascara off of this specially designed wand. Okay, and then, oh shoot, I forgot. This girl sent me these mascara shields, and I think they would be really awesome, but I forgot them upstairs. Okay, you can blink into it as well. Yeah, you can see that gives a whole lot of length when you do that. Okay, so you can see it. Makes it pop. With this, you don't want to zigzag too much. You don't want to put too much on the first time you go through. Okay, so there's one eye, and then we'll go back in for some more mascara for the other eye. Okay. Hello, Elder Carmen King. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the blinking into it. Just to get a little bit of extra length. Okay. Okay. And that is the eyes, okay? And then from here, I would always do a little pop of blush, and I'm just gonna do like a nice little brown. And we were taught when we were kids, just do that. No, you start there and then sweep up. Just like that. Okay. And then one trick I learned even before becoming a beauty advisor is I like to take my face brush and put a little bit of face powder on there, just a little bit, or use whatever is left on the brush, and then I like to just make that look like it's coming from within the skin by going over it. Okay, so just like that, just to really make it look like it's really like truly a natural flush. All right, now we are going to use here it is. I love these fan brushes, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go into, let me see if I can get it out of my palette here. We're going to go into my favorite bronzer, which is the Miami Glow, because I have always been a glow worm. I am all about the glow. I think especially for, you know, our women of color, having that glowing, just beautiful skin. You can even just wear this as eyeshadow, to be honest with you. I've seen one of my good friends who's actually not a woman of color, and an older woman did that one time, and I was like, oh my God, what do you have on your eyes? And so just right at the tops of the cheeks. And if Dallas will have me back, I'll come back and show you some things to do in the summer. And on the Cupid's bow and the chin. And again, I like to do that same trick. I'm just gonna take my brush and like that. And now before I do my lips, I'm gonna, in a T and an X, my setting spray, okay? And I'm gonna let that get sticky, and I'm probably gonna go in again just because I really like to glow on 50. I really do. Okay, so let's see. So I feel like I do this all the time, but this is like one of my new favorite lips for the day. So we're gonna do a metallic liquid paint and a lip gloss, just because I think the metallics look, I mean, they look good, right? But when you put that gloss on top of it, it's just beautiful. And for this, I'm just gonna stay kind of in my natural lip line. That way I don't have to line the lips, because you're looking for a reduction in number of steps in the morning, right? So just like that, just a little bit. And that's the Nude Blush Metallic. You really like the purple eye? Nice. And then go in with butterscotch lip candy over it. This is like my go-to look for the lip lately. Okay, so I love that. I also love to just wear, just for like an everyday look. I think this is in one of my videos from last summer's makeup class, which is candy bar lip shine. Here, I'll put it on my hand. It's kind of coppery, so pretty. I love that by itself. Okay, and so that is the look. You know, we got some glow. We got two different eyes. Talk about being two-faced. We got two different eyes. And we got the real simple, what I call like a blown out look with one color. And then we used 3 eyeshadows to create this look over here. I feel like that eyeshadow on the bottom needs a little. And you can always go back in with a little bit of foundation or concealer and clean up if you have to under the eye. As we get older and get lines underneath there, it can be really, really tricky. The right eye needs it more than the other, but you just look just that much more awake and fresh. That's all. And you can do that throughout the day as well. Okay. And that is the look.